Hello all, you join me inside the cabin of my BMW 630i E63. So this is my daily driver. I've had it over 6 months now, and I've done a review video of that, which is on my channel. You can check that out. But I thought in today's video I want to talk through some of the features that I genuinely love about this, and what's nice is that they've been revealing themselves over the last few months. So some of these little hidden features from BMW have kind of surprised me over time. So I thought I would just kind of talk through all the things that I really like about this car, and most things I'm going to say you won't be surprised at, especially given the car's age. So a lot of the points that I make in today's video will need to be taken into the context of this is now a 19-year-old car, and this being the last of the pre-facelift. This design and interior and car is 22 years old. So, you know, lots of modern cars don't have some of the features this BMW has. So the fact that it has all of these things in a car that is, or a design that is 22 years old, I think is extremely good. So talking first about the cabin, I really love this era of BMW. I think it's really driver focused. I would say it's the right side of being easily usable with some of the electronics and the controls, but equally it's not just one massive touchscreen. Everything's not hidden within sub-menus. You've got everything which is in easy reach. You've got the climate controls here. You've got dual zone climate control, so left and right in the front you can have different temperatures. It's got really handy features like the max aircon button. So, you know, when you come into the car on a hot day, it will put all the fans, you'll put it on the lowest temperature, it'll put all the fans to the highest, you'll put the recirculation on. So again, you don't have to faff around it, you can just do it in one button, which I think is really good. From the steering wheel perspective, you've got auto lights and auto wipers. Again, 22 years ago, I think that's just a really nice feature. There's other features. So if you're going to get into the car on a hot day, you can hold down the BMW button on the key and it will wind down both windows. And again, locking it, you can do that and the windows go up. Again, I think a really cool feature for such an old car. The seats are supremely comfortable and has the added benefit of being adjustable in just about every single way possible. It's got 3 memory functions as well. So for me, sometimes if I'm feeling particularly sporty, driving wise, I can set my seat to be low down. I feel more connected to the car. Otherwise, I can just be in a more comfortable position. I can save all 3. It's also got lower back adjustable as well, so that's pneumatic. So whether you can hear that or not, you can basically hear the air coming out as you adjust it. So there's 4-way adjustable just on the lower back, and then of course you've got all the adjustment that comes with the BMW seat anyway. So that's really nice. And again, it makes this car, and it was designed to be a Grand Cruiser, it just makes this car so easy to live with. But again, for long miles you can sit and be very happy with that. The sound system, for saying this is just the bog standard sound system that comes with the car, I think again is really commendable. I would play music, but I'm not going to get a copyright strike from YouTube, so you'll have to take my word for it on that. But again, for saying it's not even the upgraded sound system, it sounds fantastic. Talking about looks, I've said this before in my other review, I think the style of this car has aged incredibly well. I think the whole crisp angle design, you know, it got some critics at the time, but actually I think as time goes on, this ages really well. It looks stylish and sporty even after all this time. So I think he's done a great job in the design of this car. You know, when I park it and go into shopping centres, I still look back and smile, and I think that's the mark of a car that you enjoy and you want to drive. But hey, you know, if you can't afford a Porsche, then you can always buy a BMW E63 Coupe and just open the boot, as you can see here. It looks very much like a 911 996. So yeah, so when I'm feeling a bit down sometimes, then I can just open the boot and hey presto, I have a Porsche. There's other things that I just really like about this car. So this particular model has got electrically adjustable steering column with the wheels, with the steering wheel. So what's really nice is when you start up the car or turn the car off, it goes back to its default position. So you can get in the car, turn the car on, and the steering wheel lowers down. Again, it's the little things, it's the little sort of touches that just make the car feel really special. It's not out and out drama. I just love being in this car. I love driving it. I love sitting in it, which is exactly what I'm doing now. So there's loads of little things that I really enjoy about this car. And before I go on to talking about how it drives on the road and some of the features on driving on the road, I recently used my Carly OBD reader to tailor some of the car's functions to how I wanted it. So for example, the automatic lights were coming on all the time, even if it was bright daylight. So I can use the Carly app and OBD reader to change those functions. So I've changed it to just the halo rings coming on for daytime running lights. And you can adjust at what point the automatic lights come on. I've also added the speed into the digital infotainment screen in front of me. Again, that doesn't come as standard, so that's a really nice feature. You can control loads of things with the Carly OBD reader, and I was quite surprised thinking that it wouldn't be able to do a car this old. So that was really cool. You can do things like the approach lights at night time and what lights come on and how intense they are. I've changed the volume of the parking sensors. So there's loads of little things. Again, it just makes living with a car a little bit easier when you can tailor some of these electronic things. So I haven't been paid to say that by Carly, but I will leave my referral link in the description below, and if you sign up you'll get 10% off. I really like Carly. Yes, it's an annual subscription, which a lot of people don't like, but I actually think for 60-70 quid a year you get your money's worth, and of course every warning light that pings on you can get an explanation and explanation of how to fix it and all that sort of thing. So it's really good. Check it out if you want to. If not, then don't. So yeah, for the next part we'll get on the road and I'll talk you through some of the things I love, the features about this car whilst driving. Another thing that's really nice when you, it's quite a cool feature, when you start up the engine, there's a few dashes above the red line that basically tell you where to rev your car to before the engine warms up. So it's quite high to start with, and as the engine warms up, the dashes fall away behind the red line to show you the car's up temperature and you're not going to damage it by pushing it too far, which again is just a nice little touch. It's a non-invasive way to tell you how to look after the car. So in terms of driving the E63, this won't come as a surprise to anyone that's driven an old BMW, but the steering is such a nice balance between being heavy enough that you feel connected to the road without being too onerous or too tiring just for going out for a spirited drive. I love the way BMWs of this era drive. I think it's so nice. You feel really, really connected to it. And again, without, it can be a driver's car and you can push it. Absolutely, you can push it. But at the same time, if you just want this to be a mile muncher, a daily driver, a long distance cruiser, it's so good, even just for that. So the steering is just a really nice added bonus. The cruise control, I think, is a really nice little feature. You just kind of knock it up with this little dial just underneath the indicator, and this little dock appears again from behind the speedo, and it's just so easy to use. You just knock it up, it automatically turns on. You can pull it towards you and you can slow down, you push it away from you to speed up. It's so easy to use, and again, this makes it such an easy motorway cruiser. And then if you're done with it, you just knock it and it just falls away and hides behind. Again, really easy. Really, you know if it's on or if it's off. And just little features like that just make this car really nice and easy to drive with. With the windows up like I have done now, you get a little bit of the exhaust sound, but really not too much. And it makes the car really easy to live with. It means that your neighbours don't hate you. You don't always feel like a bell end when you're at lights or driving around corners. But equally, you can wind the window down, knock it into sport mode. And that straight six just makes a fantastic noise. I bought the car obviously because of the engine, and the N52 straight six petrol just doesn't disappoint. It's a fantastic car, especially for being naturally aspirated. It's incredibly responsive, as you heard there. It sounds fantastic. It goes all the way up to 7,000 RPM, which just makes this car such a fantastic all-rounder, because most of the time you're driving around like this, you're driving 40 miles an hour on a British B road, and it's just easy. It's really, really easy and placid. And then equally, you put your foot down, it becomes addictive. The sound, it's so ready to just hit it. That wasn't, I just love it. I absolutely love what this car can become with just a heavy right foot. And then equally, you knock it out of sport mode and it becomes pleasant and placid like all of the time. So yeah, the engine, the exhaust sound is probably one of my favourite. I don't know if you can call it a feature of the car, but it's one of my favourite parts of the car, and it will never not make me smile, which I just love. One handy feature of this car, speaking of noise, in the sound menus, it has an option where basically, as you're driving at higher speeds, say on motorways, the car will automatically increase the volume of the radio or whatever you're listening to. So as you get higher speeds with the road noise, the tyre noise, the wind noise on a motorway, the car will adjust the level of sound so it again feels completely seamless, which for a 22-year-old design, I just think is brilliant. It's all the little touches that add up to a really great car, really great daily driver. And like I say, some of these things have just been revealing themselves over the course of 6 months, and it just makes for a lovely driving experience. And I picked up this car for $3.5 grand, and I just think that is a hell of a lot of car for $3.5 grand. It's only done 118,000 miles. The N52 engine is renowned for being one of the most reliable, if not the best engine that BMW have ever made. And yes, I could have got a cheaper V8, and they sound fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the fact that I can just use this will easily do 200,000 miles, and I want to get it there. So I'm kind of repeating myself now, so I'll shut up in a minute. When you drive this car at night, it surprises you again. So when you unlock the car, there's little lights underneath the wing mirrors that light up the door. The BMW badge on the door rail lights up and glows orange in the evening. All of these little things just make for a really special car, and 22 years later, I'm quite happy to say that I enjoy all these little features. For the daily driving, for having fun, but also a long distance cruiser, this ticks every single box for me. So hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more stories about this, or check out some of the car interviews that I do on my channel, please subscribe. But if not, I'll see you next time. Cheers. Sport mode. Oh, BMW. What a car.